This Amur tiger feels uneasy, as after a challenging recovery journey, it is uncertain about what comes next. Will it be able to enjoy a free and happy life? When freedom was in sight, the rhino couldn't hold back its emotions and just wanted to run as fast as possible back to its home. This is a historic milestone as they release a pair of Mexican wolves into the Blue Range Wolf Recovery Area in Arizona, aiming to establish a new population in this pristine wilderness. This 4.7-meter-long Tomastoma was raised in captivity and weighs nearly 500 kilograms. Now, it's making a spectacular return to the wild. The rare Amur tiger was released back into the wild in eastern Russia, and it roared fiercely before diving into the dense forest, not looking back at all. After living in difficult conditions and becoming a threat to humans, it was rescued and rehabilitated. Now, it has a new opportunity in an area rich in food and safety. These West Asian leopards had never set foot in true forest until now. Now, they're roaming northern Udia, their true home. These two tigers had to live in a train car for over 15 years and had never set foot on grass. Their previous owner only fed them once a week and did not care for them properly. Fortunately, a group of kind people rescued the tigers and brought them to a sanctuary in South Africa, where they will surely have a happy life. It may look chaotic, but this is the moment these birds have longed for. The day their wings truly belong to the sky. Witness the awe and wonder in the eyes of these chimpanzees as they experience grass for the first time. Having never seen grass, trees, or bushes, or even set foot on soil, their immediate thriving serves as a powerful reminder that animals should never be confined against their will. These critically endangered Siberian tigers have been released back into the wild. We hope they will thrive in their natural habitat. This condor was found with a severe injury, but today it's spreading its wings and flying again. Just look at how happy it is. This bear was injured and had to be treated at a wildlife sanctuary for a year, but it never forgot its natural habitat. The moment it was released, it was incredibly happy. Sometimes, releasing an animal back into the wild is not simply that act. For these 3 orphaned bear cubs, biologists not only rescued them, but also taught them survival skills for a whole year before they returned to the wild. Thanks to the efforts of many passionate individuals and organizations, they have completed an incredible 8,000-mile journey to their forever home in the sanctuary, where these lions have a bright future ahead. A spectacular sight unfolded as thousands of birds soared into the sky, embracing their freedom. This image is truly inspiring, filling us with hope for these magnificent creatures. After a long winter, these cows finally took their first step outside, and for some of the calves, it was their first walk in their lives. The leopard was severely injured. After weeks of dedicated medical care, it was successfully released back into its natural habitat. Pigs are intelligent and emotional animals. Just look at this mother pig and her piglets after being rescued from a slaughterhouse. They were freed and are now happily dancing around. After a year of solitude, this python thinks this bag is the coziest place ever, until it realizes it's about to taste freedom again, thanks to a volunteer. A gray fox rescued from a fire late last year has been released back into the wild after 5 months of recovery at the Ramona Wildlife Center. After recovering, these orphaned hippos are finally healthy and ready to be released into a new family.
How they reacted when they saw that beautiful body of water. All 3 of them ran into the water straight away. They kind of gave each other a kiss to say hi.
Here, 2 chimps, Vanilla and Shake, were liberated for the first time in 28 years. You can see how everything felt so new to them. The female tiger has completed her rehabilitation process and is now a skilled and experienced hunter. It is now time for her to begin her new life in the wild. This opossum thought it would be trapped behind the bars forever, so it couldn't believe its eyes when it saw it was back home.
Thank you.
The ocelot was injured and received treatment to restore its health. And now, the moment has come for it to return to the wild, which it has always been eagerly awaiting. One of the cruelest things fate can do is to take away the ability to escape from the fastest animals in the world. Fortunately, there are wonderful people ready to ensure that doesn't happen unjustly. This lonely hippo was rescued from poachers and brought to a wildlife sanctuary. It must have felt like it had stepped into hippo paradise upon realizing it was safe and the only male around. A striped hyena narrowly escaped death after falling into a 15-foot deep well in Ane village, located in the Altir forest range of Maharashtra. Fortunately, volunteers discovered it in time and rescued it. After a medical examination and treatment on site, it was released back into the wild. The lioness Yuna was rescued from the war in Ukraine. They gave her a second chance at life, and now she's walking on grass for the first time in her life. All 17 bears, previously confined in a zoo due to a lack of operating funds, had only a small space to move around, each in their own separate area. Fortunately, the 17 bears have been given a new life and acres to explore at a beautiful sanctuary in Colorado. Finally, all the unfortunate bears have returned to their true home. "88 bison have been returned to their native land, where they will gain freedom and receive care from those who tend to the Native American bison." These young male saigas were bred in Russia's Liman district to help restore a vanishing species. You are witnessing one of the rarest antelope species returning to a land where they had nearly gone extinct. These giraffes were relocated to Uganda's Murchison Falls National Park to help restore the native population, and they didn't hesitate for a second. A successful operation saved this leopard's life, and now it's eager to seize this new chance. Coming back to my real home is always the happiest thing. The critically injured vulture was nursed back to health by a wildlife conservation organization. 6 months later, it was released back into the wild, and look how happy it is to be home. It's time for this weasel to return to where it belongs, and its steps show just how happy it is. In this short video, produced by the International Fund for Animal Welfare, Dr. John Beecham talks about the process of reintroducing 4 grizzly bear cubs back into the wild. Although it still felt disoriented after waking up, it was certain that the natural environment would be good for a wild animal like itself. The seals named Drake and Remy were rescued and given the necessary care. When they were ready to be released back into the sea, Drake ran towards the ocean excitedly, but Remy did not follow. Instead, Remy began to turn back towards the enclosure, fearful of the vast sea. However, Drake stood waiting, as if trying to encourage Remy that he could do it. Suddenly, Remy began to muster up courage and plunged into the water, and then they both swam to the place where they belonged. Rescued fox cubs run in the grass for the first time. This moment is priceless.
Come here.
This is the UK's first polar bear cub in 25 years, taking its first steps outdoors under the watchful eye of its mother. This golden eagle was injured and fell onto a road in Arizona before being rescued and cared for at a wildlife rehabilitation center. After recovering, it was released back into the wild. It expressed its joy by majestically flapping its wings before disappearing into the stunning cliffs of Arizona. Because it was released so suddenly, the bear appeared extremely confused and anxious, not realizing that they had brought it back to its true home. The bobcat has experienced freedom and ran at an incredible speed to return to where it belongs.
Oh, whoa! He's in a hurry now.
The black-footed ferret was returned to the wild by this man after 2 months, and it took a long time for it to realize where it belonged. Cape Cod has one of the highest dolphin stranding rates in the world, but luckily, these two were safely rescued. The platypus George had to spend several months at the Taronga Hospital after being found in a lethargic and emaciated state. But that is a story of the past. Now, it will begin a new life in the wild.
Now, let's show Bruce.
After months in a boma learning to hunt, this cheetah finally returned to the wild. Her paws and backward glance felt like a quiet thank you to her rescuers. After a few weeks of good food and treatment, the heron's nictitating membrane was fully healed and he was ready to be released. After months of care, these turtles are sliding into the ocean like they never left. That fast swim, that's their instinct kicking right back in.
Let's go. Yeah. We need to see how big you are. There we go.
After 2 years of careful care, it is time for this wombat to be mature enough to return to the wild. This is a new beginning, and I believe it will do well.
Baby Gil.
After 18 months of treatment and fighting for his life, here he is, a majestic python returning to his native sanctuary. Having recovered from an injury, this young eagle was finally ready to soar, and the happiness of being back in the sky showed in every beat of its wings. The bighorn sheep were released in the Santa Catalina Mountains. Initially, they were a bit hesitant and bewildered when the cage door opened, seeming to not believe their eyes that they were actually free.
3.
Seeing them race back to their rightful place, I was overwhelmed with emotion. They're going to have an amazing life surrounded by nature.
Grab it, Brad. Oh.
Good, David? Yeah. Darren, whenever you are ready.
After recovering from a severe injury, this alligator was finally returned to the wild. And in this powerful moment, It summoned all its strength to slip back into the water. A family of lions was rescued from a zoo in Romania and released into Lions Rock, an animal conservation center in Free State, South Africa. The charity Four Paws saved these lions from the Onesti Zoo, where they suffered from malnutrition and were forced to live together in a small cage with no grass and very little sunlight.
Ow!
This is exactly where they belong, their home with majestic nature. After preying on village dogs, this rare Amur tiger was safely relocated, and now he roams freely in a protected wilderness area. This poor condor was released after many years in captivity at the zoo. Unfortunately, it took him a while to remember how to fly. This snowy owl is one of over 50,000 wild animals that the Wildlife Haven Rehabilitation Center has dedicatedly rescued and rehabilitated after being injured, sick, or orphaned. A great horned owl has been released back into the wild after completing its recovery. This is the result of joint efforts by many passionate individuals, foundations, and partners who have come together to release 25 bighorn sheep back into their natural habitat. The hummingbird got stuck in the man's garage, and he helped the bird and released it back into the wild.
Oh.
Ready?
Yeah.
The release of 25 endangered black-footed ferrets onto a private ranch marks the first historical event of its kind in Arizona, made possible by a special federal conservation agreement. There's nothing more wonderful than seeing these animals return to their natural habitat. They released tons of fish into the river with the aim of restoring the ecosystem and creating new life opportunities for these creatures. Additionally, these fish carry the hope for a sustainable future for the entire ecosystem. After a long period of rehabilitation following a serious accident, this Florida panther can't believe he's just one step away from his long-awaited freedom, which feels so daunting to take. I know that these wild horses are better suited to living in nature. These wild dogs are used to having an electric fence keeping them contained, and now they are free. All the people who cared for it at the rescue center gathered here to see the seal pup they had dedicated themselves to swim out to sea. The family of orangutans was injured due to poaching, but now they are healthy, and it's time for them to return to the wild. Wildlife and Parks game wardens released twin black bear cubs into south-central Montana earlier this week. They were separated from their mother in September and spent the winter at the Wildlife Center of Montana at Montana Wild in Helena. The seals injured by fishing nets have received thorough medical care, and now they have returned to their home. The wolf knew the man wanted to help it, so it patiently lay, waiting to be rescued. This is the journey of orphaned possums raised under human care before returning to the wild. The grizzly bears, after undergoing treatment for their injuries, have been returned to their natural forest in Montana. Just look at how excited they are. To protect these turtle hatchlings, a non-governmental organization in Himchuri has teamed up with local people to patrol the beach at night to collect turtle eggs. The eggs are then buried in a secure area within the conservation center. Once the hatchlings are born, they will be released back into the ocean. When a massive humpback whale drifted onto a beach in Argentina, people came to the rescue. About 30 people worked for 28 hours to get the whale back to the sea, and they ultimately succeeded. The whale swam away, and those onshore prayed for its well-being. You are witnessing wild horses being released back into the wild. As soon as they were let out, they ran straight to their home without looking back. The little cub was in dire need when he was orphaned, so he was taken to the Bear Cub Rescue Center, where he spent 8 months preparing for this exact moment.
Now let's just look at it. Check it out.
Look how quickly she climbs up right after the door opens and gives her freedom. This baby elephant named Tofu was rescued from a riding camp. It can be seen easily adapting and interacting with other elephants at the sanctuary where it was taken after being rescued. After spending time in human care, Raspberry, a female giant Pacific octopus, was gently returned to the waters of Puget Sound. Known for their solitude and remarkable intelligence, octopuses like her are never easy to say goodbye to. Today, these volunteers change the lives of the deer by bringing them home. 14 white-tailed deer have returned to the life they have always dreamed of. This fox was captured a few days ago, and it's understandable that he's angry. He's fighting for his freedom.
Let's put him here, Cheryl. Yeah, I think this would be a good spot.
The baby kangaroos have been cared for at the sanctuary, and now they are ready to return to the wild. The longing for freedom is evident in this tiger's movements.
Yeah.
This bear's life changed overnight. While it used to spend its entire life in a cage, now it can do everything it loves: swimming, wandering around, and playing in the snow. These mischievous honey badgers have torn apart a food storage facility belonging to the farmers, which forced them to set some traps to catch them. But don't worry, because after being captured, they were taken directly to a safe sanctuary. These beautiful birds went through a chaotic time and had to go to a wildlife rehabilitation hospital with paralysis syndrome. After a period of care and recovery, it is finally time for them to return to the wild. This is the first time I've seen the police reveal what they were hiding in the back seat of the car. Just kidding. This vulture was very lucky to have the experience of being escorted home by the police.
Ahora venga, a volar.
This injured lynx was nursed back to health by wildlife conservationists over 6 months, and upon release back into the wild, it couldn't contain its excitement.
Oh yeah!
This large turtle is around 60 to 70 years old, and it is better suited to be released back into the water. This 60-pound Pacific octopus has been in the research facility at the Seattle Aquarium since it was the size of a grain of rice. But now, it's time for it to go out and start its journey of exploring the ocean. After being examined and deemed unsuitable for the enhancement program, these 2 adult male grizzly bears were released into the wild without any drugs or treatments. Upon release, the 2 bears exhibited different behaviors. Among all the monkeys and orangutans released into the wild, they all quickly moved away without looking back. Just look at how happy they are to see the forest where they belong. It's time to release this snowy owl so he can continue his work at Hogwarts.
3.
It seems that this team of African penguins is spending all their free time preparing for a special escape mission. After years in captivity, these lions experienced freedom for the first time, thanks to the efforts of a rehabilitation center that gave them a second chance in their natural habitat. This female Bengal tiger has been released back into the wild at Kaziranga National Park, India, marking a significant milestone in her life. This female Bengal tiger has been released back into the wild at Kaziranga National Park, India, marking a significant milestone in her life. The time has come for the 2-year-old bobcat to venture out on his own. This baby sea otter was rescued after becoming separated from its mother. Here, it received specialized care and was taught essential survival skills by a resident sea otter. After spending many months with its surrogate mother, the stranded sea otter is now ready to be released back into the wild. When they released a female hedgehog into a beautiful garden, she headed straight into the woods and stumbled upon a fence. That was the first danger in her new life in the wild. But still, that place is her true home. Exactly, the natural environment is where they truly belong. "No creature should ever be stuffed in a cage" is likely the slogan for the Maha Hala Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, as the sheer number of animals they have freed truly deserves respect. 2 California sea lions rescued by Pacific MMC were released back into the wild this morning by boat. Both animals overcame many challenges during their rehabilitation. These rare amphibians are known as hellbenders, and surprisingly, this is the 10,000th individual that the group of volunteers has released over 20 years of operation. Meet Ziggy, Bubbles, Siberia, and Sinbad, babies who lost their mother but miraculously found their way to the Marine Mammal Rescue Center at the Vancouver Aquarium. There, they underwent a rehabilitation program, and now it's time for them to explore the ocean. This camel was neglected and starved to the point where its hump collapsed, but volunteers found it, helped it recover, and were amazed to see it use all its strength to run freely for the first time. The little bear's first steps are a bit hesitant because it's the first time it has touched the grass. Can you see how happy it is? This is a wonderful collaborative project designed to bring the local wombat population back to Mulgoa. Their goal is to capture and relocate 300 ruffed grouse to Missouri to restore the grouse population. After 6 months of recovery, the tiger was released back into the wild and seemed very happy. This is the journey of 5 young sea lion pups released back into the ocean in Malibu. They happily ran towards the ocean, their natural habitat, showcasing their strong instincts. However, some showed fear and wanted to return to their enclosure, demonstrating that adapting to the wild is not always easy. He found a small anteater stuck on his house wall. He caught it and released it at a wildlife rescue center in the city.
Aí, ó, uma aparição rara aqui no lago, aqui, ó. Um tamanduá. Ó, no muro de casa, na frente. Uau! Olha lá!
An African elephant family survived a poaching incident and, after a successful recovery, was relocated to a new home. These hippos, after spending a long time in captivity, now have the opportunity to return to their natural habitat. This female hyena was caught in an illegal wire snare on a farm near the Sundela Nature Reserve. Thanks to the efforts of the reserve's staff and an international film crew, she was rescued and brought to safety. A 22-year-old male grizzly bear was released in the Whitefish Range, northern Montana. As soon as it saw nature, it couldn't hesitate any longer.
Careful, guys. Oh, we need more people.
When rescuers first spotted this 300-pound loggerhead sea turtle, they thought it was a giant rock. After 8 months of rehabilitation and care, a dedicated team returned it to the beach where it was found so it could go home. These wild coyotes were orphaned as pups and were cared for by local wildlife rescue teams until they grew up. Now, the time has come for them to return to the wild. Poor animals get easily trapped in nets, even clotheslines. In such situations, there is always a hero who appears to rescue them, giving them a chance to survive and return to their natural lives. In the first few moments after the cage door was opened, the leopard couldn't even believe it had gained its freedom. Sometimes, being confined for too long can make one lose the will to live. Good news from Forter Valley in Plymouth, where for the first time in over 400 years, Eurasian beavers have been released to create a suitable habitat. Hoover was the only one of 12 tigers that an international animal rights organization managed to save from a cramped cage in a Peruvian gas station thanks to volunteers. He was able to find a new home where he saw the forest for the first time and even swam in a lake. As soon as the civet cat realized this was its home, it ran away as fast as it could without looking back. It didn't want to stay in the small cage for another minute. Clearwater Marine Aquarium has released Otis and Calusa, 2 immature green sea turtles, back into the ocean for conservation purposes. It's amazing to see these turtles return to the sea. The release of 3 river otters into the Provo River is a significant step in the effort to restore and conserve this species. This action demonstrates our commitment to protecting wildlife and maintaining ecological balance. People who are willing to help animals are real-life heroes, without capes or armor. They silently save the lives of unfortunate animals in need of help. The Old Pajeda Conservancy recently received a call for help about a trapped leopard that needed to be transferred to the sanctuary. Luckily, the team was always ready and trained to handle this situation. Does watching this video of a dove, a symbol of peace, ever melt your heart? Since birth, these zebras have craved nothing but freedom, and no one has the right to confine them.
She's gonna have a fall.
In the end, they successfully and emotionally rescued the beluga whale and returned it to its natural home. The Texas Wildlife Conservation Society has returned the injured animals they have been caring for back to the wild. This moment is priceless. Get ready, as they will be releasing nearly 1 million pigeons all at once. The pigeons immediately take flight, filling the skies over Portugal.
Un quarà entonces. Para lì também alguma coisa
This elephant used to work in a circus in Thailand. Now that the elephant is old, it has been rescued and freed here by American animal conservationists. It is truly an incredibly emotional moment.
Free elephant!
For these horses, they truly belong in the wild where they can roam freely, rather than in small farms.
Yay, cream puff, finally! It's okay, off you go. We love you, but go into the ocean.
The seal seemed to have trouble believing its eyes that it had been returned to the ocean. The first steps upon returning may be wobbly and challenging, but these giraffes know a beautiful life awaits them ahead. This guy decided to release his American kestrel back into the wild. Even though they were close friends, he still did it. What a man with a kind heart. Ten Milu deer have been transported from Beijing to Hebei province, where they will be released into the wild in the hope of expanding the Milu population. The animals were loaded onto a truck after being tranquilized on Saturday morning in Beijing and are expected to arrive in Mulan town in Hebei province after a 6-hour trip. Marine rescues are often more challenging, especially for large animals like sharks. However, in this case, rescuers were fortunate to successfully return the giant shark to its home. This young man has become a close friend of these lions. However, it's now time for them to return to their real family. There's nothing better than coming back to one's own home, isn't it?
Is not easy to do at another line facility. It is a pro to having good relationships with these animals.
Two seals got entangled in a fishing net and were injured. After being rescued by the rescue team and taken care of, both of them have now recovered and are ready to return to the ocean. To release a 6-ton male elephant back into the wild, just having the intention is not enough. The volunteers must first find a suitable vehicle for it. On this day, Grant County, Colorado, was forever changed because, for the first time in history, 3 male and 2 female wolves were released here to establish a new community in this pristine wilderness. These 2 cubs have been rescued and treated, and now they are fully grown and ready to return to the wild. The bears were very excited and could not contain their joy when they saw their home again. This little lynx seems unsure of what to do next because she can hardly believe that the cage has finally opened and she's being allowed to explore her new home.
I think I'm recording, yeah.
Oh, scary. Oh my God. What is it? Yeah, together.
Together.
When these orphaned children are ready, that's when they begin to live independently. This northern seabird was found entangled in seaweed and unable to move, but after being examined and confirmed healthy, it was returned to where it belongs. All the rescued monkeys were placed together in the same truck, and now it's time for their freedom. This lion has not fully recovered, but as soon as it realized the path to freedom was open. At first, the lion was quite fearful as it looked around at its surroundings, but its intense desire for freedom quickly urged it on. If you think releasing animals is cute and fun, how about when the animal is a bit less furry, more toothy, and 3 meters long? For this lion, the surroundings seemed too unfamiliar. It didn't even dare to step out of the enclosure, but I'm sure it will soon return to its wild instincts. A polar bear required special methods to return to the wild. The pilots had to fly at a limited altitude and distance because the bear could wake up at any moment. Fortunately, the bear woke up just as it arrived home. And all these people gathered for one reason: to witness the rescued African penguins return to the wild. This is the first time in Guatemala that captive red-tailed macaws have been released into the wild. For the first time in the conservation history of Kaziranga National Park in India, 2 hand-reared orphaned rhinos have been released back into the wild. This is the effort to rescue stranded dolphins. Without these kind people, it's uncertain what would happen to the dolphin. This bear has waited a long time for the moment of freedom, and now that moment has become a reality. It's been 6 months since they were born, and it's their first attempt at nature's hunting grounds. it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for taking the time to watch this entire video. We hope you had relaxing and enjoyable moments. If you enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe to our channel to receive notifications when we upload new videos. See you in the next video.